Alright guys, I didn't have a chance to actually do a review on Battleground because unfortunately I lost my feed and it took him, well, I pretty much still can't get it back now, so I haven't really watched the thing and I have no idea of the outcome except for tonight. And yes, I actually did see Raw. Found out a few things that I didn't really want to find out because I didn't really see, Battleground, but hey, it happened. But the one thing I know which really makes it great, the entire night great, well, actually two things. Number one, The Undertaker actually did make his return. Now the streak is over, the slate is pretty much wiped clean, and he is ready to go after Brock Lesnar. He made his appearance that night, on Sunday night at Battleground, and he actually made his voice known. It was nice seeing The Undertaker after all this time. He's looked like he's aged a bit, but hey, he's a lot older now. But the one thing that I'm going to say that they really did right was they really did hype up SummerSlam, the main event match they're going to have. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker Part 2. This time, no streak, just, I guess, revenge or, just to get back at him. And I'm actually curious on how it's going to turn out. But honestly, guys, it was a freaking free-for-all. Throughout the entire night, you just see Brock Lesnar plowing through people to get to Undertaker, and the Undertaker plowing through people to get to him. It was just back and forth, literally multiple times, and it was amazing. I have never been so excited seeing that in my entire life. You don't usually see that emotion going into a match, especially a main event, built like that in so long, and it made me so happy to literally see that. And honestly, guys, that was definitely the highlight of the night. And the one thing I have to say is it really did make sense to have some of the other matches early. We actually had two Divas matches tonight. The first match that we actually did have was Charlotte, and Charlotte came. I mean, the match with Charlotte was just absolutely amazing. I love everything about Charlotte, but the second Divas match is the one thing that shocks me the most. You had Paige, the submission specialist of NXT, going up against the boss, Sasha Banks. She made her tap out. That was something I did not expect. I did not expect to see Paige tap out. And honestly, they've hyped this whole thing up. They've hyped this Divas Revolution thing up so much that the one thing that concerns me is that they don't give it enough push. In other words, is that, okay, I want to have a decent feud against these teams, building up for a team battle at SummerSlam. I am hoping that'll happen, but this is more like a Survivor Series type of thing. Honestly, this whole thing is practically just reeking of Survivor Series, which makes sense to actually have this whole team thing going on at Survivor Series, let alone have The Undertaker having his revenge done at WrestleMania 31 instead of him facing Bray Wyatt. Yeah, that was the one thing I didn't get. And a lot of people kind of question that on Twitter. Like, how come this didn't happen at WrestleMania 31? Why is this going to happen now, at least a year later? It makes no sense. But I guess he was probably in no condition to fight, but he ended up fighting Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania 31. We saw how one-sided that match was. It really was. Excuse me. I'm a little tired. But either or, guys, I will have to say this was a really good Raw. They really did hype up. And I really didn't care much about the main event. And actually seeing Lana come out and beat the ever-loving crap out of Summer Rae was interesting. But then it also leads to the creepiest moment of the night. Can we say how creepy Rusev was when it came to him and Summer Rae? That was the creepiest moment I've ever seen in my life. Like, seriously creepy. And I would have never seen Rusev, as dominant as he is, to be that creepy. That's a whole odd side of him. But besides all that, I didn't really care much for the main event, but I will say the main event actually did go okay. Usually, the faces stand tall, stuff like that. But the one thing that got me was John Cena and Kevin Owens. You had John Cena pretty much coming out during Seth Rollins' promo, and then after Seth Rollins left, here comes John Cena. And I'm like, okay, where's Kevin Owens in all this? If Kevin Owens lost last night, shouldn't he be coming attacking Cena? But something tells me they're moving on from Owens and going on to Seth Rollins, and they're probably going to put the belt on Cena again. But either or, I will say that I will say this. John Cena's promo, whether it was intentional or not, literally made the main brand belt, the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, cheap. It did. I'm sorry. It did. It may not have been intentional, but John Cena's promo literally made that belt look cheap. And that is the top belt of the company. You do not want to make the top belt of the company look ridiculously cheap compared to the starter belt that is the U.S. title. Don't get me wrong. The U.S. title definitely had a lot of weight behind it ever since his open challenge started, when he had his open challenge with Sami Zayn and also with Adrian Neville, and then from there Kevin Owens, even though Kevin Owens didn't really go for it. But either or, from those three matches, from those two matches in that confrontation, he actually did give a little bit of weight to the U.S. belt, especially his feud with Rusev, made it even better. So I will admit that he did put a little bit of weight behind it, but his promo that he had with Seth Rollins did not do the U.S. title justice. It literally made the U.S. title trump over the main belt. You don't want the main belt to seem a lot cheaper than the other belt. I'm sorry, than the U.S. title. That I don't know why they decided to do that and thought that was gonna sound right, but it didn't. It really didn't. But hey, it happened. But once again, we have another epic promo by Paul Heyman, and I'm not gonna lie, Paul Heyman's promo literally out-topped the Undertaker's. It did. It outshined the Undertaker's. It was the best retort I've ever heard, especially speaking against Taker after what happened at WrestleMania 30. It was great. It really was. But everybody was like, oh, it's Paul Heyman. It's going to always be great. But seriously, it was great. That was a great retort. And honestly, guys, my overall thoughts is this. They are really hyping up SummerSlam way early, and they're doing a great job at it. I have never been this excited and literally screaming at the top of my lungs and laughing so hard with excitement looking at, or just completely just marking out for some of the things that have happened. And honestly, it really does make me excited about SummerSlam, and it really shows me that these guys they mean business. And I really think that it's going to be a great SummerSlam this year. I am looking forward to the main event, and I'm actually looking forward to what's going on the card. But guys, I want to hear your personal thoughts. What do you think about tonight's Raw? Because personally, I think it was really good. I think it was a really good Raw. But I want to hear y'all's thoughts. Leave a comment in the comment section below on how you guys feel about Raw, whether or not you would change it, whether or not you keep it the way it is, or whether or not you're going to add a few things. And let me know how you feel about The Undertaker being back, as well as his confrontation with Brock Lesnar. I want to hear y'all's thoughts. It's Nature Girl 30 signing off. Peace out, guys.